Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene Diamco, the multidimensional MD. And this week, I wanted to talk about the eclipse in your shadow side. And you might wonder, what does that have to do with health? But it's because my intention is always to bring the intuitive aspects of health back to medicine in practical and tangible ways so that you can access deeper healing, experience more peace, love, and joy in your everyday lives. So, to use Dr. Gladys McGarry's term, this is living medicine. And I like to see how can we explore ourselves through our lives, through what is happening, what messages can we get out of everyday occurrences, but also something more unusual like a solar eclipse. So if you think about the sun as it's this bright star, this shining light, and when there's an eclipse, it's not that the sun stops shining, but that light and that warmth are eclipsed by the moon. So you get these strange shadows. So think of your soul, your essence as the same as that sun shining. You have this warmth, that love within you. You have this light, this divine wisdom within you that is always there. But sometimes life things happen. We go through difficult experiences, or maybe there's generational wounds, and that light and love of our soul essence gets eclipsed by our shadow side. So when we think of our shadow side, it is often that side of you that maybe you don't like, you'd rather not see, you would rather tuck away or toss out or get rid of or contain in some way. But our shadow sides are hidden gifts. And I talked about this in episode 81 of the Multidimensional MD podcast here. So you can scroll to episode 81 to see more about what I talked about there. But I wanted to bring it up again and revisit it because it takes courage to look at your shadow side. It's the part of ourselves that we would rather not look at. So the first element is to have some courage to be able to see all of you, because this is an aspect of you that is still worthy and deserving of your love, your awareness, and to be embraced, to be brought back home. So when I talk about this side to people and to patients, to friends, and I talk about it as if it were a crying baby. So if you had a crying baby, then what would you do? You would scoop it up and cradle it and soothe it. And you couldn't be demanding of the baby. You couldn't say, "Stop crying." That wouldn't work. And you can't toss the baby out. You can't put the baby in a corner, although you could put it in a safe spot and say, "I'll be right back." If that's necessary, you need to do that sometimes. Say you feel like you can't address it at that moment. But at some point you do have to pick up that crying baby that is an aspect of you and give it some love and tenderness, gentleness, and bring it back home to your heart center. It is this shadow side of you that is just feeling eclipsed. It's not that it doesn't have light, it doesn't have love. It's just needing your consciousness to bring that part out. And to give you a visual of how your shadow side actually are hidden gifts, then I'm going to show you these pictures that I took from the eclipse and showing the shadows that are made when the sun is eclipsed. So I guess it was almost 90% eclipsed at where I was, so it wasn't in the path of totality. But you can see here, so this is a shadow from the leaves of a tree. And isn't it so amazing? All those little crescent shapes. So there's something interesting there. It's a part of ourselves. It's this rainbow of who we are. So it's not bad per se, but it is adding this element of interest. It's adding some dimension to it. So here's another picture here, taken farther out. So you can see the branches there, and then these are all the leaves, and as the sun's shining through it, so whereas it would probably have shown through like more like circles or other shapes. It's because the sun was eclipsed. You only get that crescent shape, this moon shape of the sunshine. And here is another picture through a colander. So the colander has a bunch of little circles, and instead, what you're seeing there are these little crescents shining through. So through when when that light is eclipsed, and in this eclipse time, then what it is drawing attention to is our shadow side, and that we do have these hidden gifts within us if you can see it as such. So, this is a way to also reclaim your body. I've talked about this before, but it's really to help you ground and be fully present in your body, and for your cells to be healthy, your cells, the tissues in your body, the bones, the membranes, the tendons, the different organs, even the waters of your body, they need to feel the essence of your soul. They need to feel your light and love, that divine guidance and that warmth from you. So, as you feel this vibration within you, that truth of your being, then your cells, the cells of your body, soak that up and can vibrate with your own essence. So this is the embodiment of you, your essence, the embodiment of your consciousness. And when you have a shadow side, it just needs your attention, just like picking up that little baby. You can sing to it, you can hum to it, and you could do this literally, both literally and metaphorically. So, singing to yourself, humming to yourself, auming to yourself creates this vibration that your cells can wake up to, and it can start to feel more of the essence of your whole being. And so this is why it's actually important to our physical health, not just our mental emotional health, but our physical health, because we are meant to embody more fully that essence of who we are. So this is the a harmony, harmonizing of body, mind, and spirit. So you think of your spirit as, or your soul as that sun. So when things happen, difficulties happen, life is always filled with ups and downs. There will be times of more chaos than others. Then that is like an eclipsing of your heart, the eclipsing of your light and your love. But it doesn't mean that it's not there. It's always there. But it may point out to you, bring to the surface these shadow sides of you that need tending to. These are the little crying babies of yourself that just need to be brought back home to your heart center, to be brought back to that light and love, so that you can be a more full expression of who you are. Because if you don't tend to them, they stay as a sort of containment or tension in your body. So the tissues in your body will have some tension. This will interfere with the flow of the fluids. This will interfere with the endocrine signals, the nerve communication. So you need more freedom, more fluid flowing of signals, of neurotransmitters, and movement to be able to access all of you. So when you contain those shadow sides of you and lock them up and tuck them away, then they will create a tension in you that will take some of your energy to contain. So then you don't feel you won't have this feeling of being fully alive, fully present. And I've walked so many patients through this, and it's really remarkable. So I did it for a mom the other day, and this was just the briefest of experiences. So maybe 5 minutes, we had a little extra time. I had taken a look at her baby, so we had a little time to just walk her through some things that could help her, and then in doing so also help her baby. So just walking through reclaiming these parts of your side that have any tension, that feel like they're crying, any difficult or emotion or physical feeling. So you would just bring your awareness to that area. And for example, if you feel if you've gone through any stress and trauma, it will create some tension in the body. So you might feel curled in a way, um, figuratively, but literally as well, because there will be some sort of tension in your body. So an exercise that you could do is to tend to those parts of yourself that feel like curling in. And then you could just imagine it. You could do it physically, like curl in like this, or you could just imagine yourself doing it because your imagination of it will be the same to your brain. So I will say, just imagine yourself curling in however much you feel like it, and then keep breathing. So now you have your awareness and you have your breath that helps to create flow and openness, and you're tending to this crying part that feels like curling in. And this is all we did. And then moments later, then she felt lighter and had more energy. So if you're feeling like fatigued or tired or not quite like yourself, feeling tension, then that's something that you can do, because in doing that imagination exercise, then you are bringing your mind, your body, your feeling into harmony. So there's nothing wrong with the shadow side. If you feel tense, it just needs some tending to. So by imagining yourself curling in or actually doing it and then breathing into it, that's you aligning mind, body, and spirit and tending to it and allowing it to uncurl in its own time. It doesn't have to be hard. It can take a long time. It doesn't have to. So again, this exercise I did with this mom, it took literally minutes, and there's no expectation. So there's no goal of it uncurling. It's it's the if there was a goal, it's really to match what you are imagining in this mind body exercise with the feeling in your body. So as you do that, see, you're aligning yourself, body, mind, spirit, and using the breath and awareness to help it expand again. So if you were to be demanding of it, it's pushing it around. So you're not actually listening to the crying baby part of you. You're pushing it, and gentleness in this case will be the most efficient way to tend to those crying parts of yourself. It is the disconnect. So it's when the body and mind have some sort of like tug of war. So, meaning the body feels this way, it has some sort of visceral reaction, a visceral tension, and then the mind's over here. So, example of that would be like if you tend to be the kind of person that says, I'm fine. But your body is really tense and you're feeling all different things that are saying that something that feels off, then that is a mind body disconnect. So when you bring it together, it doesn't mean like if you're having negative thoughts to do something bad, that doesn't mean following those. It means tending to the crying baby and just giving it love and attention. So the goal is to do that in a neutral, loving way with without a goal of changing it. So can you show love and tenderness to that aspect of yourself without a need to change it? Like that is total freedom of expression. Again, to be clear, I'm not saying to go act out on certain things that your shadow side might be thinking. That is not the goal. That is not the purpose at all. It is to hug it in and bring it to your heart center. So, if think of it as with a little kid. If the little kid was like saying things and um wanting to just like do something bad or like throw something or break something, it's like you would give it an alternate safe route for expression. So it could be like, if let's act out animals, and or pick an animal that represents how you feel and let's act that out or make that sound. So this is a similar exercise in terms of being able to harmonize your body, mind, spirit, bring it together so it's on the same page so that you can say, I hear you, I understand you. And that's what you're doing when you imagine yourself curling in just as it would like to, breathing into it, and then letting it change as it would like to. So in your imagination, it's not a rigid curling in, it's like it's a listening, and it's a matching yourself and your imagination to how your body feels. And when you do that, things that feel like mismatch can start to integrate, and they naturally know how to harmonize, how to rebalance. So you are, in a way, actively tapping into your recalibration system. And this is such a beautiful and simple thing to do for yourself. So when you in this eclipse week, I just want you to reflect on that because other aspects of the eclipse is when we went outside. It was really neat because you could feel the change in the temperature. So there was a little bit of a chill. I could just even at a degree or so. And I have to check to see exactly how much the temperature changed. We were about 90% eclipse, so not in the totality. But and then also the light became somewhat eerie. Just it wasn't like an evening light. It was maybe because the sun was higher in the day and the way it was as coming down, it didn't feel like an evening light. It felt really strange. And so to be able to look with curiosity at those strange parts of yourself, at those parts that you tend to shy away from, those parts of yourself that might feel more chilling than you're used to. So the eclipse gives us an opportunity to explore those parts of ourselves and then to bring them back home to our heart center so we can reclaim ourselves fully, feel more balanced and whole, have more energy, have more clarity of thought, have more fluid thinking, be able to move through the world with more purpose. And you in doing that and tending to these parts of yourself, you are saying that all aspects of you are worthy of love, and it is a beautiful experience and practice of self-love. So I would encourage you to have some courage to look at that and reflect on that and let me know how it goes. I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't seen episode 81, how your shadow sides are your hidden gifts, then look at that and I talk about these shadows parts of you more in a different way as well. And yeah, leave me a comment, like, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at All Worlds Health, on Facebook, All Worlds Health and Pediatrics. And if you haven't already, you can sign up for my e-love letters. I send them out once a week on Wednesdays. And you can do that from my website, allworldshealth.com, allworldshealth.com. So lots of love to all of you. Have a beautiful rest of your week. I believe in you, so I hope that you believe in you too. Take care, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.